So all these things are common to our culture, am I right? I know I'm not just talking to the choir here. I know some people in here know what I'm talking about. Because some of us have had strokes. Some of us have had heart attacks. Some of us have had diabetes. And some of us have high blood pressure. Am I right about it? The other thing is diabetes. In 2018, black adults were 60% more likely than Hispanics or white adults to be diagnosed with diabetes. 60% more. And one study in the biological risk factors was weight and fat around the abdomen. In 2019, 96 million Americans 18 and over had prediabetes, and 1.4 million of us are diagnosed with diabetes every year. That's in America. That's in the country where we're supposed to have the best health care. Okay? Well, part of the problem is, because I belong to the World Health Organization and the World Council of Churches, we had a health summit here a couple of years ago, and we found out, people in Canada and Jamaica and some of these other countries, Switzerland, they have a healthier lifestyle. Hello? And I think it's because of the intake. And I think it's because of the intake. So we have to be very careful with that. Let me speed this up. Diabetes is a condition that occurs when glucose, also called blood sugar, is too high. Glucose is our main source of energy and comes from the foods that we eat. So be careful what you eat. Colon cancer, another major problem. Colorectal cancer starts in the large intestine, colon, or the rectum. The difference in our bowel movements. Look at diarrhea, constipation, narrowing of the stool that may last more than a few days. Get your checkup every 10 years. And lastly, strokes. 80% of strokes are caused by clot related. This happens when the blockage stops the flow of blood in your brain and could build up fatty plaque deposits. So learn what the symptoms are of cancer. And the last one is heart attack. Occurs when blood clots flow to your heart. This happens as a result of a blockage in the entry in your heart. Don't play doctor, call 911. Heart attacks in the U.S. happens every 40 seconds. And it's the leading cause of death for men and women. And it happens to people more that have already had one. I wish I had more time, but I don't. But know that we love you, we appreciate you, and thank you, Dr. Thompson, for the invite and the privilege to share this brief information. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Amen. So govern yourselves accordingly. Amen. And we're grateful, especially to our men. We invite you to do what we've got to do to ensure we are our healthiest selves. Amen. We, again, are celebratory of fathers and all father figures, and yet lean into our admitted sadness and sorrow on today. And yet we want to continue to give God praise. Amen, because he has given us so much. Anybody grateful for God this morning and all that God has done and how God has blessed you and how God has kept you and how God keeps pouring out to you? Amen. Come on, somebody, let's give God some praise in the house on this morning. I want to do two things very quickly. One, I want to make sure that we invite our ushers to make preparations for our worship through giving. Amen. Even as I yield to our choir to render a couple of selections that will accompany that giving moment. an opportunity. As always, we ask you to do the very best you can. Amen. We're grateful to our media ministry. Certainly apologies for any sound issues that we encountered on today with those who are on Facebook and those who are on YouTube.